Jack Posobiec put out a tweet yesterday, and he was like, AOC keeps putting out these videos about how she was under attack in her office during the dreadful events of January 6th, and she was terrified for her life. And Jack put out a tweet saying, you could see it up on the screen right here, if you're watching our video here in Rumble, quote, AOC wasn't in the Capitol building during her, quote, near-death experience. Well, AOC didn't like that at all. I mean, she's all for the disinformation war, right? She wants to combat disinformation. So you would think she would try to correct the record, right? And give an honest take of what happened that day. Well, here was AOC's response. Quote, this is the latest manipulative take on the right. They are manipulating the fact that most people don't know the layout of the Capitol complex. We were all on the Capitol complex. Oh, so now it's about the complex, not the Capitol building. Interesting. The attack wasn't just on the dome. The bombs Trump supporters planted surrounded our offices too. Interesting how she gets called and all of a sudden gets so defensive. I thought she didn't like disinformation. You know what's even weirder? When she gets confrontational and gets upset that Jack Posobiec called her out on the fact that she was not in the Capitol building, whether she thought her life was in danger or not, I don't know. I can't get in her head. But the fact is she was not in the Capitol building. That's just a fact. This is a government representative now. She doesn't like that little old Jack Posobiec sent this tweet out and was really bothered by it. So she sends an email to her email list. I have to guess is what, Paula, probably 3-4 million people. She probably has a pretty substantial email list. This is a representative of the United States government urging them to, quote, we need your help. Here's what you can do. Help us combat this campaign of disinformation and others in the future. She urges them to scan social media, Facebook and Twitter. They have built-in tools for reporting these posts and tweets that break the rules. Notice how she does exactly what she did with Parler when she was uncomfortable with the fact that Parler was allowed to speak. People on Parler were not sanctioned by Twitter for proposing alternate political views. Notice what she does right away. She goes to her friends, Facebook and Twitter, because they are left-leaning companies, and she urges her list, her probably 3-4 million people on her email list, she urges them to go to her friends in Twitter and Facebook and report these people who dare state the fact that she was not in the Capitol building. I'm not in her head. I don't know what she was thinking. But that does not change the fact that she was not in the Capitol building. We're not allowed to question government officials anymore? No, apparently she says no. If you do, report them to Facebook and Twitter immediately. Well, that's backfiring substantially because look what's trending on Twitter as of yesterday and this morning. First was AOC Smollett. Justice for Juicy. Remember that Dave Chappelle episode? Remember Juicy Smollett? It said he was attacked by MAGA supporters in Chicago while coming back from Subway in the middle of the night. Turned out that story wasn't exactly true. So AOC Smollett was trending. And look what's also trending, number one. AOC lied. Notice how when you hold John Kerry and AOC to their own rules being, hey, we don't like disinformation. And I believe the environmental rules should stop people from spewing CO2 in the atmosphere. CO2, a naturally occurring gas you expel every time you breathe, by the way. But I don't think those CO2 rules should apply to me. I'll fly around the earth in a private jet because I'm just talking about you little great unwashed people, not me. Notice how when you apply the rules to them, the rules about disinformation and others, how they get so uncomfortable. Here's another great one. So one of our channels on YouTube, they fell right in this trap. But this isn't one of those times where you say you put them in a trap too, by the way. You know, people do that when they get wrecked by someone. They go, oh, you fell right in the trap to kind of save face. No, we already said this was the trap for YouTube if you watch our shows. So as you know, I am an investor in the parallel economy, and one of the other companies I'm involved with is Rumble, where we actually don't discriminate against people's video content. So I said, we're going to leave our YouTube channel up for a little while. A lot of people wondered why. Because I knew it was only a matter of time before YouTube and their AOC friends and others like that declared my conservative, liberty-loving content harmful. There you go. Yesterday it happened. Ding, ding, ding. I'm sitting here with Paula in the hotel room, right? She looks at me. She goes, here we go. Right in the trap. Not that smart. YouTube declared our channel harmful content and said you can't monetize the Dan Bongino Clips channel on YouTube. Okay. So, you should probably use a reporting system on YouTube and Twitter too. Why don't we use their own rules against them? You see content that you think is harmful on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, if you're still on those platforms, maybe you should report that too. No, that's only for leftists to do, like AOC recommended. Oh, okay. Maybe you should try the system too, see how it works.